wonderful. Welcome to the Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. If it's your first time being here, thanks so much for stopping in. If you are a returning listener, of course, I appreciate you so much for being here. I am starting to accept donations for my readings, so, interesting. I'll talk about that in a second. So if you're feeling generous, my Cash App info is below. It would be so helpful. Also, if you're not feeling that vibe, then like, share, comment, and subscribe as you see fit. It helps the channel grow. So let's get started. I'm working with the Wildwood Tarot today, and we're working with some Spirit Animal Oracle cards. So let's pull an Animal Oracle card for you first and see what Spirit is leading you at this time. We're in the middle of an eclipse portal. We are also in the middle of Mercury retrograde, Saturn retrograde. There's all kinds of astrological shifts going on at this time. Huge changes. Not a time to kind of, well, I don't know. It doesn't want me to say that energy yet. Just definitely like huge shifts, big changes. Nothing is static at this time. Everything is moving, shifting, evolving. Sorry, I was like debating on if I should pull one or if it wants to pop out on its own. So I'm just trying to kind of like see what happens. There it goes. Oh, that's a pretty card. Canary Spirit. Number 12, how ironic, Pisces. You are the 12th zodiac sign, so this is for sure for you. And it said, sing your own song. I used to play flute when I was in middle school band, so that's funny. And I love the little songs coming out of the beak. It's kind of giving me one of the songs from the animated Sleeping Beauty from Disney from however long ago. It's specifically the one that says, one gift, the gift of song. I have a playlist here on this channel of any songs that come through the readings. So I'm going to go look up that specific part of the movie and put that song in the playlist. You should check it out because I don't know all the lyrics, but there are little like birds that are like flying around during that scene. It's talking about the gift of song, of course, given to Aurora, which is ironically the name of my cat, one of my cats. And so she is Sleeping Beauty. She's named after the dawn. Canaries, look at that beautiful yellow coming through, right? Just like the sun, very glowing and just warm. And look at this beautiful royal crown. It's like that's you, the princess or a prince, if, take it how it resonates with you. It's just really bringing me that part of the movie and that specific song. So it's talking about the gift of song, which is your throat chakra, and singing from the heart and the sense. I wish I could remember the rest of the lyrics to that part of the song. I can't, but that's what it's bringing me right there. That's just where it's starting. It's not giving me a whole lot, but it's, okay, it definitely wants you to sing your own song, right, Pisces? Like, it wants you to sing your own song. So you have something to say or sing, or there is music that is speaking to you in particular. But it wants your own song. It wants your own song. What's your song, right? Like, interesting. It's just not giving me a whole bunch off of it right now. It's kind of like you're holding back, like you're scared to sing your own song. That's kind of what it's feeling like. So you're scared to sing your own song. Let's get started with your tarot message. And they came out face up. They were ready. Said they were ready to... There's that throat chakra again. You're ready to sing, or the cards are ready to sing to you and speak. Okay, it actually started here in the center, and it said the path is being cleared. Ooh, look at that pinky twitching over there. That is for sure some communication coming through. The path is being cleared. Done with that card now. Back to the Eight of Vessels. Eight of Cups, rebirth. I love this Eight of Cups. Out of all of my decks, this is the Eight of Cups I love the most, because all of my other decks, it's always about like how you have to like walk away from stuff and everything, and it can make you kind of not like this card. What I like about this Eight of Cups is, number one, there's a beautiful waterfall here and kind of here, which the waterfall in this deck is the Ten of Cups, which is ultimate happiness and fulfillment. So it's visible here in this card, right? There's ultimate happiness and fulfillment present and visible, not too far off and not too far away in this card. But of course, the focus is all of these cups right here. Now, these three vessels up here are very much being filled kind of mysteriously by spirit. Like, there's no water actually flowing into those cups, but they somehow are magically producing water that flows in. This very much referencing like spiritual knowledge that's flowing into you, which is very much this giant basin here, and it is overflowing. It's just talking about the Bible verse, like my cup runneth over. And the reason why it runneth over is because spirit is filling you, and then you overflow and fill the cups of others. And it's also a message, though, then about how you cannot literally contain everything that is being poured into you and your life, because it's just going to overflow. And so some things have to be released. That excess has to be released. Your song, in a way, almost has to be released. Like, you can't hold everything in. Like, you just can't, right? It has to flow to others, and then that continues to flow out of them, which returns to the universal waters, returns to the universe, returns all of that flowing happiness around. This is actually coming through as a very happy card today, which is not a usual energy for an Eight of Cups. There is a rebirth happening, and you're feeling very happy about it, and you are just being poured into by the universe, and you are overflowing. And if you don't feel like that at this moment, then you, number one, need to recognize that, and number two, be willing to accept whatever the universe is pouring into you, and be willing to pour out whatever needs to be poured out, and pass it on to others in a sense. And that's kind of where the music thing's coming back again, because it's like people create music to pour their soul out, their heart and their soul out, and they pour it out for others because they are being filled themselves by spirit and you know, just love and whatever the universe is bringing them. So they've got to pour it out and pass it on to others. Make sure you're passing on, it just said something about like poison waters, like make sure you're not passing on poison waters. Make sure you're passing on beautiful, life-giving, rebirthing waters, because there's no sense of like sadness or anything here in this card. It's very much about like happiness, just overflowing, running happiness. It did just bring me a reference of like Alice in Wonderland and the Vale of Tears, which is always like usually like a picture of her as a statue with tears running down her face, and it fills up a pool and everything. And so there's like a little bit of like Wonderland, there's a little bit of like Sleeping Beauty, there's things about, there's actually a lot of feminine energy in here. So definitely in the emotional spectrum, definitely feeling that internal watery Pisces energy that is so flowing and connected. It's a huge time of rebirth, and it feels good. And so if you're feeling like you have to let go of some things, let them flow, let them go. You are being filled up by the universe with these other energies, and it's so important that it gets released, because otherwise you can't accept everything else that's coming in for you. On top of that message, you have the Seven of Bows, Seven of Wands, and this clearance message. You have to cut away some of the old things, burn away some of the old things. Kind of like, it's literally almost like just a double confirmation of this card, but in fire energy. So there's the water energy, which is like releasing and flowing, and then there's fire energy, and this is where fire is very purifying, and fire can be very destructive too, but like literally fire purifies things. If you have to cleanse a needle or a utensil that you need to use, and you don't have you know, antiseptics and things like that, what do? You heat it up till it's red hot to cleanse it. If you need to sometimes fertilize the soil, you might do a flash burn on the top of the crops, right? And it puts that that kind of carbon and that energy like back into the earth so that it enriches the soil. If you trim up a bush or a tree, you're pruning off the dead leaves and everything so that it can continue to grow in a healthy way. And if a bow is broken, very much like how this is right here in a way, then you got to maybe, you know, chuck it in the fire and look at all these other ones you've got lined up ready to go. And that's what this card is all about, is like making clearance for things, because the path is being cleared. You've got to clear some things out and let some things go, or you cannot make room for the other things in your path. There is healthy growth waiting. There are healthy things waiting to come in, and you've got to clear the path of whatever is half broken, not working, not growing anymore, needs some fertilization, needs some fresh energy, but you got to cut off the dead stuff first, kind of. With this 9 of arrows and dedication, again, this is that's why I really like this deck, because a 9 of arrows in other decks can represent like a ton of anxiety and like keeping yourself up at night with all of these thoughts. And there's a little bit of that in here because she's firing off so many arrows all over the place. But in this deck, in this card, it's very much in the sense of like she doesn't even have to look to see where her arrows are flying, because they are nonetheless reaching their targets. And that's where the dedication comes in, because even if they did miss their target, she has faith that what she sends out into the universe will come back to her or will hit its mark. She's dedicated to the cause, is what it just said. She's dedicated to the cause. She's dedicated to, it said, releasing these arrows, firing these arrows off. Something just said, because she knows it's the right thing to do. Notice how there's a bow in her hands too, but she plays this one more like a harp or like an instrument, and that's what I was saying. Like, you've got to clear out the older energy so that you can have a new one. It's kind of implying like this is a new bow, a newly strung bow. And it said it's working for her because of the fact that she's cleared the path. And that's what I mean. It's like, it's just very much focused on how like her face is turned away from all these arrows. It's like, and yet she's still very kind of solemn, like a little melancholy. There's a little bit of that like slight anxiety, slight sadness, kind of like, I can't quite turn around and actually look to see if my arrows are hitting their target, because if they're not hitting their target, I'm going to be really sad, right? Is kind of what it's saying. Like, if my words, my thoughts, what I'm sending out into the universe is not hitting the target like I want it to, then I will be sad. So I'm not even going to turn around and look at it. I'm just going to have faith, dedication, and faith that what I am sending out into the universe is hitting its mark. And that's how she's dedicated to the cause, because, wow, that was a weird little message that just came through. It's just like, she's doing what she's supposed to do. What it just brought to me was back to like Sleeping Beauty. Like, this was Aurora out in the woods, and it's like she doesn't know about the whole like curse thing that's on her, and she ends up like pricking her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel, right? And that's where it's like she's not looking for her path in a negative or a positive way. She just like is living in the woods with her fairy godmothers, right? And like just doing her thing and like just being a forest child essentially. And that's when she like bumps into her destiny. And that's what I mean. It's like she's not turning around to look at her destiny. She's not turning around to look to see where her arrows are landing. She is being herself. A bow is that fire energy, which is your spirit. So she's allowing her spirit and her mind, which is the arrows, her communications, her thoughts, to work as they should and just go out into the universe. And she's dedicated with faith, and she's just dedicated to the cause of sending these messages out to the universe, and just having to trust and hope that everything's landing where it should be, because she knows that if she turns around and looks for it, looks for the target, looks for her destiny, she's either not going to be happy with what she sees, or she's scared that she's not going to be happy with what she sees. She might be very happy with what she sees, and that's the other part of this message coming in, is like, you might be very happy actually if you turn around and look to see where your messages and everything have been flying, but you're scared, you're worried to do that. Sorry if you can hear my son in the background. He's playing video games. Okay, like a whole book? I don't think so. But that card came out for Virgo, and that's your sister sign, and that was a really powerful message. So you might have some of that in your chart. Was there anything else though that wanted to come out? Okay, it definitely wants those. I was just gonna say like another 3 might be the key there. So another 3. Can you see those? Yeah. Okay. Almost all 3 flipped over. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Sorry, there was like 5 different messages that were like trying to kind of come in there for a second, so just give me a moment. Okay. Part of this message, it wanted to reference this scar on my arm, which I don't even know if you can see that in the video, but if you can, there's a scar right here on my arm. It was from a car wreck. This is where my airbag went off and the steering wheel, you know, came open and smacked me in the arm. I used to drive a Mustang, and you used to be able to even see like the outline of the mane of the Mustang off of my steering wheel from where it smacked me. It's much more soft and faded now. There's still a scar there, but it's definitely like soft and faded, and that's where it was bringing me to this 5 of Bows empowerment. And it was very much tying up to this 8 of Cups, because what happened with that was like, that was my favorite car ever. I loved that. That was my baby. And it was really sad when I had to let it go, because it just got totaled, right? Like, it was just done. Like, it was done. And the universe brought me something much better in the end, something that was much better for my life. That, you know, like the next vehicle that I had was something, and that I still currently have, is just something that turned out to be better. Like, there were some things that weren't right with the car before. It was kind of busted and broken, and I needed to have a whole bunch of stuff worked on it anyway, and then I had the wreck, and it was really sad to let it go, and I wasn't sure like how I was going to handle that part of my life, and I literally had to pull on. I was in a whole different state, like away from everything that was comfortable and normal for me, and I had to like pull on my big girl panties, like literally, and figure out what to do. And that's where it was talking about like empowering yourself. So you are definitely letting go of some things in your life, and you're not sure how to let go of that stuff, or like what's gonna happen next. The universe is telling you like it is making you get rid of some things in your life, because it is filling you up with other things. And that's where part of you needs to empower yourself and recognize, though, that with this Five of Bows, this Five of Wands, there can be some challenges, some competition, could be kind of like an enemy hiding over the top of this hill. You've got to, and what this figure is right here is like a mound drawing that people made, ancient peoples made, to of like a god, a spirit deity, you know, asking for their strength and power and to assist them in whatever mysteries may lie ahead over the top of this hill. There's smoke on the horizon. It could just be clouds. It could be smoke. It could be an enemy. It could be nothing. It could be something really scary and terrifying and important. It could literally just be, you know, just like a whatever. So if you're feeling fearful with this rebirth energy, you're not sure what you're doing or why you got to let go of some things in your life, Spirit is asking you to empower yourself. Call on your spirit guides. Call on whatever you need to strengthen yourself, and just be prepared for whatever may or may not be over the top of this hill. There's definitely some challenges, but it's feeling a little more like within you, like challenges within you. There may be challenges in outside forces, but it's definitely feeling like there's some challenges within you, like you're kind of fighting yourself over some things. You're not ready to let go of some things. You're not, right? There's some things that aren't... I was just saying, like, it's tough letting go, right? Like, it's tough letting go, especially when you don't know if there's, like, a safety net there for you. And that's why you have to empower yourself, because you are your own safety net, right? With the Six of Stones coming out under the Seven of Bows here, part of what is being cleared from your path is you were being exploited. Pisces, you were being exploited. Now there's a double message that comes with this card right here. There are some people who were exploiting you, that were taking too much of your resources, your money, your time, your effort, your attention. They broke your tools, they broke your stuff, it said they just took too much. Oh wow, oh wow. It just came in with that line from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, where he like takes the adrenochrome and his oh god, I can't even remember their names and everything right now. But anyway, the other guy's like, you took too much, man. You took too much. And that's kind of what it was. So there's some stuff here about like possibly some drug references. And if you're not feeling that vibe, Pisces, then that's just what it was giving. There's been some, it definitely, if that's the energy, like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, like that's some crazy energy up in here. Very psychedelic and intense, kind of like energy. And it's like, that's where it's bringing in all these like colors and everything. Like you just, there's either something about some drugs in here, or just like going way too far with something. It doesn't necessarily sound like it's you. It sounds like it could be somebody else, and they were taking too much from you, and you've had to clear the path, or Spirit has been clearing the path for you to help you release this energy from your life. Either you took too much and you exploited yourself and you've learned your lesson, so you're clearing the path and Spirit is helping you let go of those aspects of yourself, or there's people in your life that took too much from you. Could be in relation to some drugs, can definitely be about money with the Six of Stones here, and finances and your resources. That leads to your groceries, your food, and these beehives here, that's your honey, right? Like, but that's where the flip side of this card is too. Like, these are broken tools. These are neglected. Someone didn't take the time to fix these things. Someone didn't take the time to patch up these beehives. Someone didn't take the time to man the field. And when everything got set on fire, there was no one there to fix these things. And so instead, everyone's standing around going like, oh, like looking at the sky being like, why? Why did this happen? Well, maybe because you neglected some stuff. You know, if you're not tending to these beehives, then why do you deserve the honey? If you're not fixing these tools, then why do you deserve the produce from the crops? And if all you're doing is begging the sky for stuff, but you're not taking the initiative yourself to fix anything, then like, what the actual fuck? Of course you're exploiting yourself. But also there's definitely take this row, how it resonates with you, Pisces. Either you're being exploited by other people and they're taking advantage of you and the universe has been clearing that from your life, or you have neglected some things, and that is also why this is being cleared from your life, because you haven't put in the effort either. And it's very much been affecting your bottom line with that stones energy. That's definitely that pinnacle. That's earth energy. So this has like really been affecting you. And it has been affecting you spiritually, but it's definitely been affecting your bottom line here on the earth plane. And that's why you gotta, like, some of the stuff's gotta go, because just your cup is running over. Empower yourself. There's some scary stuff over the hill, maybe, but part of that scariness honestly feels like you might have to recognize where you've been exploiting yourself by allowing other people to exploit you, and the path is being cleared. The stuff is moving on. It's overflowing and running out. And that's where some of the anxiety is coming off of this Nine of Arrows dedication. It's like, man, I don't know what to do about all this. Like, I got all this stuff kind of leaving my life. It doesn't make me happy. It was really stressful and everything, but at the same time, like, I've kind of had these things in my life for so long, I don't know what to do without them. So guess what, universe? I'm gonna send my intentions out to the universe. I'm not gonna look to see what it brings me, because of the fact that I'm really scared to turn around and look and see what's there. Is it going to be something negative? Is it going to be something good? And Pisces, look at that. Ooh, I just did it 3 times too. 3 of Cups, joy. There's joy to be found there. And that's where I think it's time for you to maybe turn around and look and see what your dedication has brought you. Because if you've been especially working on yourself emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and also it feels like physically in some ways, like the universe is clearing out a lot of areas of your life, and it's like you're still scared to turn around and look to see what the universe is about to bring you, and in the process of letting all this stuff go. And that's where I think the universe is bringing you this card here as a little treat to show you that it's bringing you things that you should be joyful about. This is celebrations, get-togethers, friends. Part of the description of this card in particular in this deck talks about people returning home safely. Oh, it was giving me a song. It's kind of letting it go though. It's just talking about like returning home, people coming home. That brings joy, right? That's like a reunion energy. 3 of Cups can definitely be about friends and family and just loved ones in general. And look, there's more cups to be filled, right? There's more cups to be filled. Why you gotta let some of this stuff go? Well, because you've got 3 more cups coming in to be filled. And it just said like, yeah, like gatherings. It was giving me like several different songs off of that and everything, but just the main message is that you're scared to turn around and look to see what the universe has in store for you. What does it have in store for you? It has a lot of joy in store for you, whether that is people returning to you, which it is Mercury retrograde. People tend to return to you during Mercury retrograde, and that's where sometimes people can get warned that during Mercury retrograde, like, be wary of people returning to your life. And that's part of it too. That might be why you kind of have your back turned. You're like, the universe is here to show you that it's joy. And if you're not turning around to recognize that joy right now, Like, you will. It'll be okay. Like, it's gonna be fine. Like, it just said, like, don't panic is what it just said. Like, don't panic. It's okay to have some hesitancy. It just said after the things that you've been through. It's okay to be hesitant after the things that you've been through. You've been having to clear the path and let go of a lot of stuff in your life. And you're having to empower yourself. You're having to recognize where you've exploited yourself by allowing other people to exploit you too. That's a double-sided coin right there. And through all of that process, through all of that fear and uncertainty and releasing and all of that, the universe is coming to fill your cup back up with a lot. It just said a ton of joy. A ton of joy. And there could be people returning to you during this time, especially, that makes you feel good, brings you that joy. It's just beautiful. Last shuffle. Anything else want to come out? Hey. Okay, it kind of wants me to just like lay them here. Like this. I'm trying to figure out which direction to move in. It kind of wants to go this way, I feel like, but give me a second. Yeah. Because that's part of that retrograde. Retrograde, everything moves backwards for review time is basically what it is. So it like goes backwards for review time. And that's where now, look at this figure looking down at this heart, this 3 of arrows, this jealousy coming on top of this 3 of vessels, joy, which I had that for Taurus too. And like, I'm just saying, like, that's already been a theme in some of the readings. Like, relationships are a huge review point right now for a lot of readings. It's not just you. And that's what I mean. Like, the universe is working overall to work on everybody. So she's looking down at this 3 of arrows. In this deck, it's jealousy. In any deck, a 3 of arrows is heartbreak, grief, pain, loss, any of that stuff. In this deck, it indicates a lot more fire energy, not just the swords energy, not just the stab through the heart energy. It indicates a lot of fire energy coming off of it. And that's what I mean. It's like she's scared to turn around and look at anything else because of this experience, of this energy that is under review from the past. Oh, yeah, I see that too. It was saying that's the other reason why she's not looking to see where her arrows are flying and where they're landing, because the last time she... Woo, Pisces. Y'all got emotional there. It said the last time... Ooh. It said the last time she played with her bow, she got hurt and she hurt other people, possibly, like set some things on fire. Like, woo. There's a lot of emotion coming off that card. It said, oh, nice though. It said that's why she's been like practicing with her eyes closed. It says she's been practicing with her eyes closed because the last time she opened her eyes and turned around and looked, she had really set this energy off. So Pisces, that's you, and that is your emotional energy coming through. And it's like you just been scared to look and see what you've been doing. Scared to see where your arrows have been landing this time, because it's like you want to hit a target, but this is not the target you want to hit, you know? Like, you don't want to hit this target. You don't want to shoot anybody or anything in the heart. You don't want to set anything on fire in a negative way. You especially don't want to spark a bunch of jealousy and anger and things like that. And that's the whole deal right there. Is just that's explains a lot about this card in particular. And yeah, So she's been practicing with her eyes closed and letting the universe show her when she hits her target. And that's where it has been kind of like, there's some joy here, there's some joy here. And she's like, I'm not ready to look at it yet. I'm not ready to look at it yet because I'm scared and I'm worried because I've been reviewing this energy from the past. And the last time I did this, this is what happened. And it's just kind of like I'm not going back to that, right? Like I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that energy again is the main thing. Looking at this generosity card, what's here, and it's on top of that Seven of Wands, the clearance and the exploitation. There's a bit of a message here of like maybe someone being overly generous, or they were generous and someone exploited them, exploited you. Cut down some trees, cut down some things, right? Like it's just, there was a lot that had to be revealed and let go of because it feels like maybe someone was taking advantage of their generosity, your generosity. And I mean, this is a very positive card here, and this is where it does feel like healing, like this energy has been healed a bit, and so now they're feeling very generous and flowing. Going back to, there's the Eight of Cups. Right now we're at the Nine of Cups, this Nine of Vessels, and they have learned how to let go of those things because they know the universe will always fill them back up, and that has replenished them and allowed them to be generous again. And yet it's on top of this energy here that's like, I will cut this path down. I will clear my own path if I have to. I will cut this exploitation energy out of my life if I have to, because I am a generous person and I will not be misused again, is kind of what the energy is. Like, I am a generous person and I will not be misused again, and I'm very happy and content floating in my own little bubble, filling up all the cups around me that I already have, because I'm just done with this energy back here. I'm not going to be used and mistreated and exploited. And it just said, so help me God. So that's what I mean. Like, there is definitely an energy here of just like rising above that exploiting energy, that more cutting energy. Even though there's positives in all these cards, like this is the review, like I was saying. So I'm not going back to this jealous energy. I've healed and become super generous and abundant and flowing. I'm not going to allow anyone to exploit me anymore, misuse my resources. I'm not going to allow anyone to cut me down. I will cut you down first, is kind of the thing. And whew, like, but I don't even have to put in any effort. I'm just going to sit here and let the universe take care of it, is kind of what it's doing. Like, I'm just going to sit here and let the universe take care of it. And in the meantime, I'm going to fill up all these other cups that are giving back to me and are really generous to me. And that makes me feel generous for others. And that is where there is this really beautiful healing over here. And that's what I feel like is on top of that hill from that card over there, is this Lover's card. Gemini energy. Gemini is the energy of the twins. And so whether it's reconciliation with a family member, a friend, an actual lover, just within yourself, just within your masculine and feminine energy, your two sides that maybe have been very conflicted, there's a lot of healing over the top of this figurative hill. And it's just, and these are peace lilies. These are peace lilies here, and this is the maypole. This is Robin Hood and Maid Marian. This is the pagan marriage ceremony where you tie the knot, like braid the knot together around their wrists and everything. And just, I mean, that's your major arcana card. That's the only major arcana card coming through. So there is for sure some major healing that is coming in through this overflowing release, through this empowerment of being like brave to go over the top of the hill and see what's there. And there's a lot of healing within yourself and possibly with others, and just really helping to really bring some balance. So we've got like these two energies, these two rows moving this way, and then it's like they like come together and review this energy going back this way. And I'm just saying, there is some joy there. There is some joy, and there's some generosity, and there's some coming together and balancing and harmonizing of some beautiful energies overall in these peace lilies and everything. But there is a lot of energy in here that's been very conflicting, very painful at times. Yeah. And then it was kind of coming back to this because I was like, where's the song thing? And this was just saying, like, at the end of Sleeping Beauty, right? It's always like the happily ever after and everything, and like, blah, 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 blah. And it's never like the total end of the story, but it's definitely like, you know, that's where part of like the sing your own song is, because maybe it's not necessarily like that seal up, but it is one of those things of like, there can be peace and harmony and balance here in the end. It's a Lover's card. Like, it doesn't get much happier and chipper than that. So, yeah. It's wanting to give me some other stuff, but I feel like I've been talking for a really long time, so I'm going to stop there, Pisces. Let me know how that resonated for you. Go over the hill. And don't be scared to look for the joy, but also recognize where things have happened before and how they need review so that they can be healed up, because that's definitely part of this process, it feels like, for you. And that's where singing your own song is important, because you obviously have things that hurt you and needed to be healed and things, you know, and possibly for someone else too, with this Lover's card here. So that's what I got for you. Let me know how it resonates, and I will catch you guys on the next reading. Thank you.